Yeah, no, I'm super hyped about New Year's. I absolutely, literally can't wait. And then, have you ever been to Pila before?
I've actually done a day there. Like, Aosta though in general has got some amazing resorts all around it. But yeah, I've done a day in Pila before, and it's a funny one, Pila, because it doesn't look like there's much there, but the skiing's actually really good from what I remember.
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. I went there only again for one day last year, and I just remember thinking, my family and friends are going to absolutely love it here because of just the nature of the slopes, and they're the most amazingly groomed slopes I've ever seen in my life. They were absolutely meticulous about it.
The Italians take their pisting seriously.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but I remember talking to someone in one of the restaurants saying, "Wow, the pistes, they are like immaculate. There's no breaks in the where the cats have been. They are just
Yeah.
like, it's almost like someone's got out, made them line it up perfectly. You know, because normally you get like the boundaries, don't you, where you can clearly see where the
Yeah.
cats have been. It was unbelievable, and I remember thinking as well, they're quite steep, but they're not steep for long, and then they flatten off, and then they're steep again. And I thought this is so perfect for families or people that are sort of newer to it, because you're not stuck on this huge, like 3 kilometer ridiculously steep slope.
Yeah.
You can actually like enjoy the steepness.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. But I am looking forward to New Year's in Verbier.
Oh, you're gonna love it. Your family will love it.
Yeah, I'm excited because they've never been as well, so I'm looking forward to showing everybody as well, which is going to be good. But one thing I will say about Verbier is make sure you got enough money because it is not cheap. It's
Yeah.
definitely, because I thought Zermatt was expensive, but I think Verbier is more expensive than Zermatt.
Yeah. I mean, it's it's hard to tell, like, from my perspective, because I live here. Like,
Yeah,
there's an argument for if I just become brainwashed and just forgotten, but then also, like, I don't actually live in Verbier, so I actually live in like an area below called Le
right,
Chard,
okay,
and
yeah.
Le Chard is significantly cheaper. Like, you get a
Oh,
lot more
okay.
bang for your buck. But the great thing is, like, I'm a 5 minute walk from a bubble that takes me all the way up to Verbier.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So
Yeah.
it's linked really, really well. So it's not actually like it. I mean, I feel like it's definitely not cheap by any way, but like you can find more value if you do look around a bit. But it's if I was a tourist coming here, I'd be like, oh my god, this is pretty spenny. Like,
Yeah, it
yeah, it's
really
not
it
cheap.
no, it really is expensive. And I remember looking for accommodation and stuff, and I wasn't even there at a particularly expensive time of year, early December. And I do remember thinking, "Cool, wow, this you had to really hunt around to find something that was not absolutely outrageous."
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and even for food and stuff, it was expensive. But I mean, they all are, give or take, especially in Switzerland, obviously. But
yeah.
yeah, I did notice with Verbier it was probably the more expensive one. But so are you going to be in Verbier all year doing these camps this year, or are you moving around a bit?
Also, I'll be moving a little bit, so I'm going to be doing my winter here in Verbier. I was going to do Chavinia early in November, but actually, because I'm now towards the back of it now, I'm more on the back end, but I've just been going through ACL and meniscus, rehabbing basically. So that's kind of knocked my season on the head early last year, which makes me even more excited for this winter, to be honest. But,
Yeah.
so I'm probably not going to do November, but April time, I'll be back in Chavinia for a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
And just purely because, like, when you go there in like end of April, like, it's like being back in like January. Like, it's just mad the conditions that you get there because it's just so high. Like, it
Yeah.
keeps it so well, the snow. So I'll be there, and then hopefully all being well, touch wood, without injuring it again. I'll be doing more stuff in Chavinia and Zermatt really on the glacier.
Oh
So I'll be
okay.
there. I'll be there in the summer months for a little bit, probably for 5 or 6 weeks, hopefully, and then I'll be coming back to the UK for 2 months or so, give or take, just to kind of keep in touch with our UK clientele who don't necessarily ski with us out here purely because of what you just said. They're not interested in the prices. Like, for some people that is a big factor, and like completely understand it when you've got a big family.
Yeah,
But they
so
still
they
want
so
to
they
keep.
want the like Warren Smith experience basically,
Yeah, they
but
want to come and get some coaching with us, but don't necessarily want to do it in Verbier.
so tell everyone
So
like what is available to people in the UK like in the summer months then through Warren Smith. How does that work?
so basically, I create and run all these courses in the UK for us, for the academy. And the way they work is we are really lucky actually because one of Warren's best mates, who he also started his ski career with, is a guy called Pete Gillespie,
Yeah.
who's he's cracking. He's such a top guy, you know. I mean, and him again with Scott Hammond, they're all great mates. So I mean, that's the thing with skiing. The more you get into it, the more you realise it's quite a small world where people know
Yeah,
everyone
well,
and
I did my
everyone.
level 1 with his son, didn't I, Dan? So
Oh yeah, he's great. Well, he used to work for us,
yeah.
Dan. You know, Dan
Oh,
used to
really?
work
I
for
didn't
us.
know that.
Oh yeah, I mean, he is an unreal skier.
Unreal, yeah.
Like it's like what he does on skis. I don't know how he does it, but my God, he looks good doing it. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's a beautiful skier. But no, we in the UK, I run the courses mainly between Manchester, which is now the Northern Snow Centre, and Hemel Snow Centre. And we also work a little bit when we can with Tamworth as well. So we've got 2 to 3 main facilities that we use in the summer, and the idea is it's a 6 hour day. You know, we always say let's start at 10 a.m. We finish at 4 p.m. Just because if people are travelling, it normally avoids most of the traffic,
Yeah.
and it gives them enough time. But they can also, you know, with the course, they get the lift pass included with the coaching, the whole price. But we run a 6 hour day. We have a little lunch break for, you know, normally an hour. And in that hour, I'll go and get my iPad from my car and my laptop, and we'll sit through and I'll video you, and we'll go through
Yeah.
the videos over lunch. And we'll kind of use that afternoon to kind of consolidate what we've seen, but then to also come out and make changes. And it's actually really cool because, you know, I mean, that's the one thing that I love about well, I mean, there's many things I love about them, to be fair, which people think I'm mad for because it's like, but it's not like skiing. Well, that's the whole point. It's like training. If we go back to kind of what we said at the beginning, it's like your gym, you know. And the great thing is, in the mountains, your run can be different after lunch than it was in the morning, depending on
Yeah.
what like conditions are. Not the case with the indoor stuff. Like with the indoor stuff, it's the same. You know, I mean, it might be a little bit more cut up after lunch, but it's still the same slope. It's still the same conditions. It's, you know, it's
Yeah.
not windy. It's not, you know, snowing. So it's a very consistent place to develop skills. And, you know, with our courses that we run in general in the winter in Verbier, we have, now I've noticed it a lot, and you might have met a few of them on your time here, but we have, like, we get a lot of return clients now who've either been doing an academy and been like, I've made some big changes, I don't want to lose them, so I'm going to come to you in the summer and just maintain at the very least.
Yeah.
Or, you know, they come out and go, I had such a good time, I found I got so much for it, can we just continue on this journey that we've been doing? It's just instead of in the Alps, you're in London or in Manchester. But they're brilliant. They're really, really useful days. And it's also just, I think, you know, for me, like, people stop thinking about skiing when it comes to like June. They just forget for a few months. And then it gets to autumn again, it starts getting cold. And they're like, oh my God, skiing around the corner. Right, I've got to get ready. And it's like, if we go back to what we said before, like, you know, there's so much time that you've got in your favour. Like, you've got so much time to work on these things if you want to.
Yeah.
It's just about actually getting out there and doing it and being disciplined with yourself. But I mean, luckily with skiing, I've never found it hard to be disciplined because it's just so much fun. You want to do it anyway.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's easy. But yeah, obviously, I did that day with you, well, roughly a year ago, probably. It probably wasn't that much further than that. Maybe a year and a few months, something like
Yeah.
that.
Mm.
Yeah, and it's a really, really, really good day. Yeah, I'd highly recommend it to people for sure.
Mm.
Um, yeah, in fact, everyone enjoyed it, didn't they? Everyone had a good time.
I
So
mean, yeah, it's great. I mean, the one thing I find with skiing, whether it's indoors or whether it's out in the mountains, wherever that is in the world, like, I think the biggest thing about skiing is you're all going through an experience together. Even if you're with, like, you know, like you were with people that you'd never met before.
yeah,
Like, you know, you're going through it together and you come away from it pretty tight, purely because, like, you've gone through, like, quite a range of emotions of, like, you know, whether that's like elation because you've got something that's finally clicked after however long, you know, or you've gone through somewhere you're like, oh God, that actually scared me a little bit doing this, you know, and especially if we focus on the indoor stuff in particular, there's no point just skiing it. Like, you know, otherwise you're just going to ski the same slope 60 times in 6 hours. Like,
no, it's boring. Yeah, there's
it's
no
boring.
point.
Like, it's
Yeah,
unbelievably boring. Like, and
yeah,
it's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. So, you know, I'm going to make you do different things that are going to test your balance and test your own kind of mental threshold. So you definitely get this kind of, oh God, like this isn't a steep red run or whatever, but you know, it's making me lift up my leg or ski down on one ski. Like I'm a bit intimidated by what I'm doing.
yeah,
And you all kind of share that emotion at points together. So it brings you closer. Like you come away
yeah,
from it and people come back on them and they're like, oh God, I was really hoping this person was on this course again with me because it was so good. And then by
yeah.
the end of it, with these new people they're with, they're like, oh, let me know when you're doing the next one because I'll book on the same day as you.
Yeah, and
And you
because
do,
I
you
get a lot
get,
of people say to me as well, like, "Oh, can you really do much in a day?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you can do a lot in a day. You can do a real lot in a day, especially on a
mm,
repetitive slope with similar conditions. Like in a way, you could almost do more. You don't get the variation, so you can't work on that. You don't get this, you don't get that, so you can't work
Yeah.
on all those things. But what you can work on, you can't really work on it as much as you do there anywhere else, because it's not going to be the same. It's going to be
Yeah.
different.
Well, it's
um,
such a controlled environment. Like,
yeah,
it's funny, because it goes both ways. Like from my own experience as a coach, like I remember like those first courses that I do at the beginning of when I come back to the UK to run them. It tests me as an instructor. Like I actually wrote an article for IASI about this kind of the benefits to an instructor for an instructor working indoors because there are loads. But like it makes you think because you suddenly got 200 meters to work with.
yeah,
Whereas like I mean I'm not saying this is everyone, but there are definitely people that I've seen in the past. Where they're using terrain to just go and have a ski. And that's part of your lesson. We're
yeah,
not going to talk about it, and we're just going to go and ski. And there's a lot to be said for mileage, but it can almost feel sometimes like, oh god, we're just skiing now for the sake of skiing. Like whereas when you're there, you've got to use it. You've got to make the most of it. Otherwise, you're bored beyond belief.
yeah. No,
You
for
know,
sure. Yeah, no. If you just
like
go
the
there and go up and down without anything to work on, it is not particularly enjoyable unless you
no,
only do it
definitely.
once a year or twice a year or something like that.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, so if people, so did they not run this year then because of your injury?
So they did run. We actually had another coach, and
Ah,
he's brilliant. He's called Ethan.
okay.
But yeah, Ethan was running the courses this season, but we didn't advertise them as much just purely because I'm normally running them. So because I
Okay.
wasn't because I was kind of very much out of it for a long until kind of I'm only just getting back into it now.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
Yeah.
Ethan actually back in the UK when he's there, he actually has another job as well, so he's kind of got a balance to both.
Oh wow.
So yeah, we ran the courses, but I didn't put them together as well as we could have done and have
Yeah,
some
yeah.
staff.
Oh wow. So
But
if
they are
people
going to be
want to, so
back
if
in
people want
courses
to
this
do that
season.
next year, that will be something that they could do in the summer. Is just go and do some courses in the UK in the snow domes.
Yeah.
So they'll just be able to find that on like the Warren Smith social media or website or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah. If you go on our website, and if you would like to go on our website, you can find it on courses. Or if you just type into like Google Warren Smith courses, it will throw up on our page of all the courses that we offer. From whether
Ah,
it's in Verbier, or whether it's back in the UK, or it's Chivinia, or because we also go to Japan and we go to Canada with heli skiing. So we've got some good trips all over. But yeah, the UK courses will all be on the website.
oh
Normally
wow.
come online normally around February.
So do you ever get to do any one-to-one lessons, or is all your stuff like all group?
Yeah, so we do one to ones, but we normally say like the minimum for a one to one, just to make it worthwhile for the client, is to do a full day, so six
Yeah,
hours.
of course. Yeah,
And
yeah,
it just works out better that way from what we found in the past, like experience wise. Like 2-3 hours, you know, is okay, but it's nowhere near as beneficial as doing a full day there because you just get that time. Because especially with the indoor stuff, if you've never done it before, it's quite weird. Like it's
yeah,
quite a lot of people find it quite disorientating the first time,
yeah,
especially with the lights and things like that. So they take the first hour, say, out of a 3 hour lesson, just getting used to it, and then the next 2 hours you're building on stuff, and before you know it, it's over.
yeah. No, you need a whole day. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it they're just showing you around for a few hours. That's different.
Mm,
But if you're
mm.
actually trying to train, you need a full day for
And that I
sure.
think that's the key word, though, isn't it? It's train. Like I always say, and I sound like a broken record. I probably said it to you in the past as well. But like, if people start seeing these indoor places as a real opportunity, like as a gym, the amount that we'd get out of them, it would be insane. Because like, in the same way that people who go to the gym, you'd never walk into the gym and not know what you're going to do in the gym.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But like, you wouldn't walk in and go, "Oh, I'll walk around the machines and I'll just find my way." Like, you go in, like today I'm working on chest, tomorrow I'm working on back. Like, you've always got a specific, like, there's always a specific objective goal that you're going towards. If people started to do that with the indoor stuff, like their skiing would fly through the roof. Like, they would just absolutely go up in performance so much. And you see it a lot, like now, especially like with Hemel, especially like there's a guy there, you'll know him as well, Santi,
yeah.
like absolute Argentinian legend. He's great.
He's
But he
unreal.
is, you see him all the time. In between his lessons, he's training. Like he's going
Yeah,
off and he's training, 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 training. And you ask him just at the top of the slope, what are you doing? He'll give you an answer within like seconds. He's not trying
yeah.
to find something to sound like he knows what he's on about, even though he does.
No, and
He
he's
knows
already
exactly what
like
he's
a
doing.
9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, he's a class player. Yeah, he's brilliant to be fair.
Yeah, he's unreal. I always say, because I get more and more questions actually recently, just saying, "Oh, I'm thinking about trying skiing for the first time. Or some people say to me, oh, I've gone ahead and I've booked it. Like, what do you recommend anything? And my recommendation to every single person is always the same, and that is get as good as you can before you go. And
Mm,
that's the best way you'll get the most out of it. It's got nothing to do with equipment or anything else. It's just practice as much as you possibly can, get as good
definitely.
as you can, and you'll enjoy it more from that than you will from anything. Even if you had an uncomfortable boot for a week, if you could ski versus have a comfortable boot and not ski, and you're just
Mm,
doing these silly little slopes like day in day out, you would you'll enjoy it more. You
mm.
have to put in the effort before you go, and that is how you will get like the absolute maximum out of your trip. And I think sometimes I probably bore people because I'm so like intense about it, that because I don't want them to go and not be able to ski and see all of
Mm.
these beautiful
You want them to
places.
get the most out of it that they
Yeah,
can.
100%. Yeah. And it's like, you've
Yeah.
got to go, you've got to go, you've got to go, you've got to go. And we took my sister to Grindelwald for New Year's last year. Her family had never skied before.
Mm.
And for months before, I was like, you've got to get on the dry slope, you've got to get on the dry slope, go to Hemel, do anything you can. You've got to practice. So when we go, I can take you to all of these amazing places and you're not restricted by run types and all this kind of stuff, well, to a
Yeah.
certain
Yeah.
degree. So luckily they did like quite a few sessions on the dry slope.
Mm.
And
Which are also amazing in that respect.
Yeah, I mean, do you know the funny thing is, like, I can actually ski like okay now, but I cannot ski on them dry slopes. It kills me.
They're tough.
And the worst thing is, every time I go, I spend like a few months skiing, and I go there and I think I'm going to smash this dry slope. I can ski now. I get
Yeah.
on it, I'm not joking. It's like I go all the way back, and it almost
Mm.
makes me upset, and then I worry, have I forgotten how to ski? And then I have to go up to Hemel and make sure I can still ski
Check that
because
you still
it's
got it.
yeah, it's so difficult. And I always think, like, if you can even the slightest bit ski them dry slopes with any form of like
Yeah.
stability and control, you can definitely go on a lot of slopes
Oh
in the
yeah. I
mountain.
mean, well, look at Dave Riding. Like he grew up doing dry slope stuff. Like and look
Yeah,
at him now. Like especially for his age, he is like untouchable. Like he is incredible.
yeah.
And then there's another famous guy as well. Like, I mean, because I'm originally from Manchester, although I've lost my accent over the years. But there's a guy actually from Sheffield called James Woods or Woodsy, and he's a freestyler. But he grew up skiing in Sheffield Ski Village, which is also a massive dry slope. There's a few of them, and it's great. Like it's definitely different. And like the one thing I noticed because we've done a couple, with the academy, we've gone and done some like with our technique lab talks. We quite often go to venues where some of the places have a dry slope, and like we go out on it, and it's so funny sometimes because there is actually like a wax you can put on your ski that makes it a bit like easier to glide.
Oh,
Which
really?
obviously they don't tell us before we go out there, just because they want to have a laugh at us. So we go out there and we do a first turns, and like you really have to like work your fore and aft, like pushing your feet forward just to get moving.
Yeah.
And like you put the wax on, it makes a good difference. Like it is better, but
Uh,
I mean also the technology now, like they've got Dendex and stuff like that. Like it's getting better. But
yeah. I
there's
mean,
almost an argument with ski slopes, like dry slopes, that you could say they're more consistent than an indoor snow dome because the snow doesn't get churned up and cut up.
yeah, and I think more in a lot. Well, a lot of spit it out. I also think they're actually better, more fun because you are outside, so you get the elements
Massive difference,
changing.
yeah,
Yeah,
massive
which
difference.
it just adds a bit of interest. Like the
Mm.
slope is different in the rain as it is in the ice, as it is in the hot sun.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that, in a way, that makes it almost a bit more interesting to just ski.
Mm.
They're way harder. I don't think I've ever met anyone that thinks that the dry slope is easier than real snow. Um, they're also outside, so it's just a nicer place to be.
It's a proper
Um,
novelty, like looking over to like skyscrapers and stuff in the city, and you're
yeah,
just like on this little kind of dry slope, just like
I
this is
know.
really kind of cool.
Yeah, I've always preferred physically being at the dry slope. Oh, and also they're 3 times as long. So
Yeah,
like the one I go to, I think it's 500-600 meters, way
yeah,
longer.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so I've always preferred it, but I just can't ski it. And I'm waiting. I'll know when I've become a half decent skier because I'll be able to go on that dry slope and
Mm.
actually ski,
Gets the
and then I
balance on
know.
point. It gets the
Yeah,
balance on point doing dry slopes for sure. Yeah,
yeah, and
they're a challenge. They're a challenge, but again, like it's so funny because if you go the other way, Like, I mean, you see it a lot now, and I've come across a few of them in the UK when I do the indoor days because they come and join us. But it's massive in the race community to use dry slopes.
Yeah, massive. Yeah.
And it is in terms of like, especially for anyone who's listening, like wanting to get into skiing, but they might be on more of a budget. It's much more affordable. Like you can actually get into skiing through that, you
Oh,
know,
for sure. Yeah, and there's loads of
at a
clubs.
reasonable rate
Yeah,
compared to
there's
paying.
loads of clubs as well. Our local
Yeah,
one in Chatham, it's only half an hour for me, whereas Hemmel's like hour and a half, 2 hours for me. So I would love to be able to ski it and enjoy it because it's so close and it's
yeah,
a lot longer than Hemel as well. So I would actually
yeah.
enjoy it. But yeah, there's loads of clubs there. There's clubs there. They even have a club for like more mature people, older people.
Mm.
They're all super cute and like love their skiing. They have race kid clubs for kids. Loads of stuff going on down there. They have place you can do parties, restaurant. They have race nights. Like it's a proper community down there. Like it's
It's
really
yeah,
really
and that's the
nice.
word, isn't it? It's a proper community, and like
Yeah,
you go into like the race shop. Like I mean, Ski Bartlett's quite famous for like they kit out a lot of young racers and racers, and they all grow up on ski slopes like dry slopes. And
yeah,
then it's so funny because they look like weapons when they're on the dry slope, and then you put them on real snow, and it's just like, oh my god, like
yeah.
wow, like
We
this has done you only good. Like this has just done you the world of good. Like
Oh,
doing this.
100%. I always say to people, if you can ski good on on a dry ski, so you are going to be one hell of a skier technically on
Yeah,
normal, because your technique has to be so precise to be half decent on them dry slopes.
yeah,
Um, and it's in a way, I've always said to people, the thing that has made me better more than anything else, more than lessons, more than anything, is um, being able to deal with multiple terrains when I've
mm,
been forced into dealing with multiple different terrains, not just the terrain, but the weather, the cut, the visibility, all these different things. The more
yeah,
you get thrown into the shittest situations, they force you to become better quicker than anything else, in my opinion. And in a
yeah,
way, a dry slope is just another one of those.
yeah. You're not wrong. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think
yeah.
it's actually probably a really, really powerful tool. Um,
Mm.
yeah, you just have to be careful with not hurting yourself because my friend really badly
Oh, I mean,
broke
the
her
most
wrist.
common is like breaking thumbs, getting them caught and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was
And
bad.
just wear clothes that you don't really care about if they get wrecked, because like
Yeah,
it is quite abrasive compared to snow. Because it's obviously it's not snow;
yeah,
it's like skiing on brushes.
yeah, and don't take your own skis either. Just use theirs, even if they suck, because it's going to
100, yeah. Don't be
destroy your
taking those
skis.
doctors with you. Like,
No,
no
no,
way,
no, no, no,
no
no, no.
way. Don't
But
take that.
yeah, one day I am going to be able to ski that dry slope. I would love to be able to go down there and just enjoy it. Like, I'd love
Mm,
to. But every time I get
yeah,
on it, I'm just off half an hour later because I'm frustrated.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's yeah. You've got to persist with it, but it's. I mean, even I find it when I've done the few, like the odd days here and there on dry slopes. Like, and I did a fair few when I was a kid in Sheffield. And like when I was a kid, I didn't think about it because I didn't really know much different.
No.
But now I go on to it, and I'm like, bloody hell, this is really hard. Like, and it's almost embarrassing because I'm wearing my uniform and I'm an instructor. I'm like, I am skiing so bad compared to what I normally ski. Like,
I know.
this is not a true picture. But again, if I was to persist with it and spend some time on it, I'm sure it would only do me good on my actual day to day snow.
Yeah, 100. I always say to people because when they're talking to me about going skiing, and I say, yeah, make sure you go do some training first, and they say this is such an often conversation. They say, oh, Hemmel's too far, and I say, go to the dry slope. There's loads, they're all over the place. Because there's a
Mm,
couple within an hour of me. There's two within an hour of me.
yeah,
So I'm like, do that, and they're like, oh, but isn't that like crap? Isn't that not as good? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, no, no. It's really good. It's fun. It's everything. The only time
yeah,
it becomes crap is once you've been like treated with snow, then it becomes
yeah,
crap. But if you
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know any different,
Oh, it'd be amazing.
yeah, you'd love it. And I say
Yeah.
to like my family and friends, because when we first started skiing, our first trip we booked was in Grindelwald for New Year's, and it will be 2 years ago this winter. Um, and I said to everyone before, I was like, for 3 months before, we're going to go every single week to the dry slope. We're going to go like on a Thursday night or whatever it was, and we're going to
Mm,
practice, 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 practice. And every week, like 6 or 7 of us went to the dry slope, and we were terrible. Like we were shockingly bad. But even though since then my whole world priority has been around being able to ski better, I still to this day, and I say it to them all the time, massively miss those cold winter nights where we was getting wet and we were
yeah.
struggling and we were falling over and none of us could ski and we were begging for advice. Like
Mm.
I actually missed that like so much, like loads.
It's
I had such a
camaraderie in
good
there, isn't
time.
it? Because
It's
you're all going through it again together. It's
it's
just pure fun.
fantastic. Yeah, I highly recommend that to anyone who's looking to go on a ski trip. Don't be put off by the dry ski slopes because they can be, well, it's just what you make of them, isn't it? But I must
Oh
admit,
yeah,
when you get spoiled with real snow, um, even like manufactured snow sucks, doesn't it?
yeah. I mean, yeah. If you get those perfect like hero snow days, like anything but that, even if you're in the mountains, you get real snow that's a bit hard packed. It's just you're still thinking about God. This isn't as good as it was. Like
No, I know it's annoying that you get so spoiled because I remember when I first started skiing as well. We was in Grindelwald, and I remember everyone saying, "Oh, the snow's terrible, this, that, and the other." But because that was my first ever ski trip, I had no idea, and I
yeah, you don't know
couldn't
any
tell.
different.
No, I didn't know any different at all.
Yeah,
And then the
yeah,
more I skied, the more I started to realise, oh, this is not as nice as the last one, or oh, this
yeah,
is really good. And then you start becoming a snow snob. Um,
yeah.
to the point where sometimes I've been there and I thought, is it even worth going out today? And then I'm like, no, of
Mm.
course it's worth going out. How dare you? Like, get your ass up and get on
Yeah,
them
yeah, yeah.
slopes.
But
But
yeah, it's so true. I mean, you get that a
yeah,
lot though as well. I've met that with I say I've met that. I've met people like that as well, where if they've grown up skiing in Scotland as well, another like more affordable way of getting into skiing. But also like when it's good there, it's really good. But
yeah,
when it's
people
bad
have said
there,
that.
oh my god, like it is beyond character building. But
Yeah,
anyone who can grow up and ski in Scotland, they can ski well anywhere.
yeah,
You go through like every condition within a day. Like it's
yeah,
properly character building. But I remember like talking to this lady about it, and like I remember it was quite a like what you would say if you're out on holiday and had quite a lot of experience. Well, just even a bit of experience of like weather in the Alps. It was snowing, it was windy, it was blowing a gale, and she's the only one who turned up that day. Like I got texts off everyone else saying, "Ah, this is a bit too much today." And they were fairly like they were, I would say like an intermediate kind of group, like not like out there pushing it constantly. They just wanted to have fun, which everyone does mainly.
yeah,
But she turned up, and I was like, "I'm so glad you're here." Like, I was worried I was gonna have a no show. Like, oh my god. And she was Scottish, and she grew up skiing in like the Cairngorms. And she was like, "Well, the thing is, like in the Alps, I get it. Like, there are other days to ski, but if you're waiting for the weather in Scotland, you're never going to get it. So you've got to go and get it anyway. So this is
yeah,
it. This is what we get. We get it. And in terms of like, especially with our kind of like, I would say like methodology of how we want people to be as skiers, we don't want just like a really good piste skier in good sunny conditions. We want a skier who can ski everything. I
yeah,
mean, I say it to groups as well. It's a bit like driving a car. And I'll never forget this just when I was a kid, but I remember it was like like when you go to like I don't know if you had this as a kid, but like going to like village hall parties at school. So
yeah,
the village hall party that was like maybe like 3 miles away, but because we were quite young, we got driven there. Like my mum was going to drive us there, and then my mate's mum was going to drive us back. And my mate's mum messaged my mum, like called him, was like, "Is there any chance that you could pick them up? Just because I can't drive at night." And it's like when you think about it, you're like, well, okay, so you can only drive in really one condition because you didn't like driving in rain either. And it's like, well,
no,
you're kind of like a one trick pony here. Like, you're not an overall good driver in the same way that, like, people who ski well in sun, there's no reason they can't ski well in bad weather either, or what we call in inverted quotes bad weather. It's just about getting exposed to it for a start and then becoming familiar with it. But I wouldn't say, like, to be a strong all round skier, you've got to ski in every condition that you get.
yeah. In fact, I used to hear that and I used to think, no, I don't really care about that. All I want to be able to do is ski like well on
Yeah,
particular days in particular thing. But then I realised they don't happen that often.
yeah.
Um, and not only that, you actually to really enjoy things, you've really got to be able to ski everything in order to see everything, in order to like go on every slope and do this and do that. Otherwise,
Mm.
you end up being massively restricted to like one day every
Hugely.
2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah, hugely. But also, like, when you go and ski on like a low light day or like a snowy day or a windy day, and you lose that visual cue, like you can use your eyes to fill in the picture, which like it's amazing. And I'd say this to anyone as well. Like, obviously, do it safely before I start telling people to go and ski blindfolded. But just do like 3 or 4 turns with your eyes closed, and you'll realise like how much you rely upon your eyes to fill in the
Yeah, for
picture.
sure. Yeah.
And then when you go and ski on like a bad weather day, like low light, if they go and ski that and like you do get it in the Alps, where you'll have that for a week, or you'll have a storm roll and it'll last 10 days. Like
Yeah.
they are like properly on it when they come out of it because
Yeah.
they've been their balance and their proprioception has just gone. through the roof. Like they're properly tuned it up
And
just
there's
because
no
they
one
have been able
else.
to use
And
it.
no, and the slopes are dead, so it's actually
Well,
quite a
that's the
good.
other thing as well. And if you
Yeah,
pick a resort that has trees as well, you'll always find some visibility
yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, that is
massively.
very true. But
But
I
yeah, it's quiet.
when I spent 2 weeks in Hinstux doing my IASY stuff and whatnot towards the end of this season, and I don't know if it's that place or if it was just when I was there, but never have I seen changing weather like that place. It is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. Even Zermatt, never seen a place like this. I swear, day by day, it went. It was like in England on a certain day, you know, where you'll get like every season in a day. In
Mm.
Hintertux, it was like that every day, I swear to God. And every day you'd wake up and you'd think, no, no more. Just give me a normal day. Like
Please, just give me
literally,
a good
yeah,
day.
I'm not even joking. I was literally praying, please just give me just a normal day. And again, it would be like just some sort of carnage.
Mm.
So I don't know if that place is like that all the time, but it was definitely like it for me. But where we was doing our exams, and I did that course with Gary Tumbaz as well, who's ridiculous by the way. He's unreal.
Mm.
Um, you had no choice. You had to just get out in it.
Yeah.
And there's no two ways about it. It made me a more competent skier.
Mm.
Without really focusing too much on it. It was more of like you've just got to do it and get on with it.
Yeah, it's like the
Um,
weather's trying to be cruel to be kind to you.
it was evil, that place. Honestly,
Yeah.
Hinstux, that place was evil to the point where I don't want to go back there for a little while.
Yeah.
I've
Never
got
know.
a few questions though before we end because we've been doing this for ages. I don't want to take up too much time. But if one of the other questions I get all the time is if you are someone who has maybe been on a few ski trips and they absolutely love it or been skiing all their life, they love it, and now they're at a time in their life where they want to become a ski instructor.
Hmm.
Um, this is quite a few people actually asked me this. In fact, one of my friends, Benji, he did the Stompik camp with me last year.
Yeah.
Um, he is doing his level one around about now at one of the snow domes.
Mm.
So yeah, good luck, Benji, if you're listening. And we're back doing the camp again together in December, more as a friend thing than anything else.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
but what would your recommendation be for that, and how like fairly briefly, like how would that work for someone like that who's not anywhere near of the level of like a level two, but maybe sort of could be a level one? What is the best way to become a ski instructor where you can actually go and teach within the next few years?
Good question. Like, I would say, like, the best way to become a ski instructor, if you can, and the budget allows it, is come and do a gap course.
And what
Because,
is
like,
that? What is that like roughly? Like what does that involve time wise and whatnot?
time wise, so, I mean, it varies. Like, different resorts offer, different ski schools offer different amounts of times. But, you're talking normally about 10 to 12 weeks or 9 to 11 weeks of, a lot of training 5 days a week. It's 5 days a week with us anyway. And yeah, like the idea is those first couple of weeks, because that's the big thing with instructing. It's not only about how well you can ski, it's also can you demonstrate it clearly,
Yeah,
and like getting those demos on point. So that, because you've got to remember that you might be talking to someone who has no experience with skiing at all. You've got to be perfect, and like, well, I've been perfect. No one's ever perfect, but you've got to be so clear and precise in what one you're looking for, but also what you're explaining to them and what you're showing them with your demos. And I'd say that in terms of getting into instructing, like you can, if you're wanting to go through the system either fairly quick or you're wanting to, do it on a bit more of a budget and don't necessarily have the time, whether the budget's money or it's time value. If you don't have the time, then I would say you could do your level one, like, you could do your IASY with like people like Ali Smith and co in Hemel.
yeah,
You can, get that done there, go and get some more training there because they will give you a full debrief. Like, you know what it's like after your exam, you get a report.
yeah,
So you can get your debrief and go away and work on that in Hemel. We can go and do it when you're on holiday with your mates, yourself, or your family, whoever. Or you can come out and do a gap course. I mean, for me, like the easiest way that I would explain it is to do a gap course. Like it's just easy because it's not only are you getting your levels through it, hopefully if all goes well on your exam, but and we see it here and there. Some people think they want to do it and then they go out and do it and they don't actually like instructing.
yeah,
And actually finding that out for yourself, is quite a valuable thing to realise before you chuck all your money at something. Like, go and figure
yeah,
out if you like this or not. Like, because people are like, I love skiing, so I'll go instructing. And it's like, well, it doesn't really work like that.
no,
If you love skiing, you love skiing. Happy days. We can make it instructively for sure. But you've got to have a passion for one, like working with people, wanting to get them better, and bringing the best out of them. And I think doing a season of gap course, I mean, we actually now at Warren Smith, our gap course, we work with Synergy. So Synergy is kind of our new, like I say new, it's been around now for a bit, but it's our newer kind of ski school that works more kind of as a traditional ski school.
Right.
But we also offer instructor training with it too. And it's amazing. Right, it's really cool. I actually really like their kit. Their kit looks awesome. But that's run by one of my good mates, Nick, who works in Synergy. But I would say if you're ever wondering about it, one, pick your resort that you like the idea of, because there's lots of different resorts now that offer it. I mean, like you've got over in Val d'Isère, like you've got Mark Jones who runs ICE. You've got in this town, you've got so many ski schools that offer it, an equivalent of what we offer. It just depends about kind of doing your research and seeing what suits you best. But yeah, for me, like doing the gap course, from my experience, because I literally did it, for me, doing the gap course with Warren Smith Ski Academy was the best thing I ever did, because I've amazingly made a career out of it for now. But I
Yeah.
love it, and I would suggest to anyone, if they get the time, and the budget to go and do it, you owe yourself that time. If you just like skiing or you love skiing, you owe it to yourself to go and do at least a season at the very least, and if you can, do an instructor course. Because you
Yeah.
come away with so much, it's like you come away with it and you're just like, oh my God, I'm hungry for more. I need to get more out of this. Like, I want this now. I've like been shown, someone's dangled a carrot in front of me and I
Yeah.
want it. Like, this is the next stage. And yeah, I love it for that. And I also really enjoy working. We call them the gappies on their gap program, because traditionally quite a lot of people do a gap season and they come out and do it for the winter with us. And I love working with them because they're keen. But then on the other side of it, we also get people, from all ages, from like 18 up to kind of, well, there isn't really an age limit as long as they can ski. So there's never too late, it's never too early. All I'd say is if you don't do it now, you'll just kick yourself when you actually eventually get around to doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's difficult because when I did my training, I never did it with the intention of teaching. So
Mm,
my whole journey feels different to how other people's does, because they really want to be a trainer.
mm,
Whereas I just really wanted to be a better skier and have
yeah,
some form of recognition to myself of where I was at. So sometimes it's difficult for me to relate to the people that are actually doing the training, because I didn't do it for that, and at no point did I even think about doing it for that.
mm,
So it sort of gives me a little bit of less knowledge for those people. But one thing I do know is that I've skied with instructors who love skiing, and I've skied with instructors who love teaching and skiing,
mm.
and there is a massive difference.
Yeah, there
Like
is.
there is, yeah. Like when you get people like you who loves teaching probably as much as you love skiing, or close
Mm,
at least. Um,
definitely.
there's a huge difference in that person's ability to make you better than someone who loves skiing. Like I've probably met people who love skiing more than you. They're upset, like they're absolutely obsessed with it. It's all they do. They don't even have a
Yeah,
life. They just ski. Um,
yeah. Yeah.
but they only teach to be able to be addicted to skiing. Do
Mm,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah. Whereas
yeah,
people like you and Jason and other people, you love teaching as much as you love skiing. You don't just do it so it enables you to ski. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
and that that
100%.
makes yeah that makes a huge difference. And I think you're right. You've really got to think to yourself like, am I going to love teaching? And we all know as well. Well, I know now since doing it that when you do pass your exams, you are not going to be teaching probably people like me. um, you're going to be starting and working your way up. Do you know what I mean? Not
Yeah,
me in terms of ability, like me in terms of like how much I want to do it and this, that, and the other. You're going to be working with kids. You're going to be doing this. You're going to be doing that.
yeah.
You know, you're going to be doing a lot of things that a lot of people wouldn't necessarily love to do.
Oh,
Um,
like honestly, it is. It can be. Some days you feel like you've earned your wage when you're on a on a bunny hill on a beginner slope, and it is just a storm. And the person you're with on your one on one is just trying their best, but they're just struggling because it's so hard. And you're like, yeah, okay, this is like you've got to love teaching at that point to get through it.
yeah, for
There
sure.
are a lot
Yeah,
of people who do that. Like, I mean, my girlfriend, she used to work in Austria for a while and did loads of seasons with like Obergul and Zolden around there. And she, for a fair while, I mean, she ended up running the race program for them. But before that, she was working a lot with like beginners. And if she did not love teaching, that would have made life way harder.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've had people come to me, two people actually, and they're like, "Oh, come and do, come and do a couple of months teaching for us, and we'll work out some sort of like deal so you can stay for free or whatever." And
Mm.
I'm like, "Oh yeah, that sounds amazing. I'm tempted by that." And then I asked the question, "Who would I be teaching?" And they're like, "Oh, kids." And I'm like, "No."
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's where that balance is of like, I love skiing, but do I love it this much that I'm going to do something I don't want to do? Like, like
Nah,
you've got to enjoy it.
because
But it
I
is
think
like, if you are liking it, it's a hell of a kick when you see like progression.
yeah, and there was people on my IASE courses who you just know would be fantastic teachers, and it actually amazed me through all of because I didn't look at it from a teaching perspective. I was just there to become better and
Mm.
then get marked on how good I was. I totally forgot the teaching side of it. So it there was this constant reminder that teaching was actually the biggest part of the course, and that the way you taught was everything more so than the way you skied. And actually, I did do it well, but I because I wasn't there for that, it went almost under the radar. And it
Yeah,
was only at the end of my level two when I realised how important it was to the instructor that you could actually teach rather than being this amazing skier, which obviously
mm.
makes sense to normal people. But where I wasn't there for that, I wasn't thinking about it like that. So it was
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
interesting to me, like how much importance they put on the teaching part of it, which sounds silly from an outsider's point of view because it's a teaching course.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
I completely get you. Like, I mean, it's funny. I talk about it with my mate. He's my colleague as well, Nick. He runs a gap program for us, ski instructor program. We quite often will say to our students who are training for the instructor stuff, whether or not they want to do it in the end or not, or whether like you, they just want to get better and they're interested in skiing. Like, we'll say to them at points after they've done their like, kind of mock lessons. Okay, would I trust you with my kids? Or like, would you pay for that? Because at the end of the day, like you said on your other podcast, like skiing, especially one to one, you're talking like 400, 500, 600 quid a day. Like it's a lot of money. Like
so much money. Yeah.
you're putting your money and and not only that, but you're like your trust and your faith in someone else's hands. Do you trust them? And it's a big, big thing. So like, not only it's massive on the teach. Like you've got to be able to teach.
Yeah, for
As
sure.
silly as
Yeah.
that sounds, you really do.
And in fact, there was one girl on our level two course who I thought was a particularly brilliant teacher. She was a very good skier as well, but I just thought she was an amazing skier. You would definitely drop your kids off there in the morning and they would all have a good time. And she
Yeah,
would somehow teach them to ski better amongst that as well. She was just that
yeah,
person, Rosie. So where I want to get my daughter some lessons and like teaching family is not the one.
amazing.
No, he's not the one. I thought I'm going to book her in with some lessons at Hemel before we go skiing this year. And I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm just going to message Rosie because she teaches at Hemel,
Yeah.
and book her in. So I've booked her in with a couple of lessons with Rosie. So you're right. And I would definitely just drop her off and I'll be more than happy with the knowledge that Rosie will be absolutely sensational with her. And by the end of the day, all I'll be hearing is Rosie this, Rosie this, Rosie this, Rosie this.
Yeah, yeah.
But also, she will somehow manage to teach her something at a time when maybe she's not that interested in learning. And I think that is the sign of an absolutely spectacular
100%.
teacher. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And there was a few of them like that on the courses, but yeah, her in particular and various other people, you just knew they would just be absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
you remember them, like, especially like with kids, like, say with your daughter and she goes with Rosie and stuff, like, she'll probably remember that when she's an adult. Like, like it's something
yeah.
that she'll look back on and go, that is like, it's like you saying, like, I miss the days with my mates on the dry slope in the rain, in the cold. Like, it's a lasting memory. Like, it's got to be a positive experience for them.
Yeah, whereas when I try and teach her, it's not a positive experience. She's like,
Yeah.
"Yes, I know, Dad. I'm on the outside ski. I
Yeah.
do this." Like she
Yeah.
can't stand. And teaching my wife is even worse than that. To the point where I've sent Lila and my daughter off to ski lessons at Hemel with Rosie and Jade, my wife. I've put her on a Stompit camp in Hintertux in the second week of November. Um,
Incredible.
yeah, which because I just cannot do this teaching the wife and kids thing.
Yeah, I get that. I get
Um,
that.
yeah, it's not. I don't recommend it to anyone. In fact, you're better
Mm.
off. Don't even advise them. Just let them know best, and just shut up, and your marriage will survive longer.
It's so funny you say this.
Yeah, off the back of it. And then the other question I was going to ask as well is, um, like as you were learning your ski journey, as you were coming through, like I sort of explained, like one of those little moments earlier, like when Steve said to me about the leading leg and this, that, and the other. What is one of your things like that you felt made a huge difference, or even just the way someone said it to you, or something like that? What do you remember anything like that?
Yeah. I mean, I've got a few. I mean, it's funny actually. There's one that I think about now a lot, and I actually use it in my own coaching with people. And it's really simple because, like, I mean, you said it in your other podcast. Like, people talk about like get on your outside ski, stand on your outside ski, stand on your outside ski. Like, it's not wrong in any way, but like when you start to think, especially when you get into like, I would say this. Like, I'll give you two. So, first one with outside ski, instead of thinking about standing on it, I think about standing against it, which to me makes it more lateral. So I think about it as like it's the same in some ways, but the way that this guy said it to me, he's called Chris Oldacre. Works in Engelberg, but he's also an IASE educator and an unreal skier. An absolute weapon. But
Oh, what ski school does he work for?
well,
Pulse.
he's no, so
Is
he
it?
had his own. He's got the Chris Oldacre ski school in Engelberg, but he's now working with Supreme.
Oh, I think he follows me on. I think I've been talking to him on Instagram recently.
Oh, he probably
I
will. He's a
think.
proper ski nerd. He's a proper
Yeah.
ski nerd for it. But he's also a properly sound guy. He's great. He's good to go and have a pint with and talk all things skiing. But he's a good lad. I really like Chris. But I remember him just telling me, like, I quite often think about standing against it. And like you've heard it before, but the way he said it, I was like, yeah, so that makes me think about edge way more than if I'm standing on it. Like, and it just kind of clicks with me, for me anyway. Which was
Yeah,
one
Chris
thing.
Oldacre. Yeah, he is the person I've been talking to recently. Yeah.
No way. Well, if
Yeah,
you do chat
maybe
to
not.
him,
He's, maybe I haven't been talking to. He's commented and stuff. We've shared some comments or whatever.
he's
But
a massive Stockley man as well. He loves his Stockley.
that's probably why. Then, yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably how he found me. Yeah.
but he's an unreal skier, and he did interski as well. He's represented IASI in interski as well.
Yeah, because I remember you saying on the course actually stand against the ski because I think you put it like if the ski is on edge, then you would be standing against it like as if you had your foot like on a wall or something,
Yeah,
rather
like creating
than
a platform to stand against.
rather than thinking because when you think about standing on something, you think about it being vertical, don't you? Which you rarely
Yeah,
are. Yeah,
yeah.
whereas when you think about standing against it, it can work at any angle.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that was like, it might be really obvious for someone. It might mean nothing to someone else, who's a really good skier or whatever experience. But for me, that just made a difference to me. But the other thing as well is that I think doesn't get talked about enough. God, there's so many. I've got to be discipline myself to talk for another 2 hours. But, another thing as well is inside leg awareness. Like when you start to become like aware of your inside leg and what it's actually doing, because we
Yeah.
get so focused upon the outside leg and what it's doing, and that's the driving, ski, and all this. Forget about the other 50% of what's going on. Like your inside leg, like oh wow, like it makes a hell of a difference when you act. Like I'd say, like the keyword is activating the inside leg.
Yeah.
Like and being very like I say it with one of the guys that I ski with called Chris, another Chris, and he's brilliant. He comes out with his family, but we talk a lot about deliberate skiing and like skiing with purpose, not being kind of like going down a run and just that happened and didn't realise that had gone on. Like be deliberate in what you do. And when we started talking about activating the inside leg and what we can do with it just their skiing just went up in a whole nother level, like very
Yeah.
quickly again within like 3 days I think it took.
Yeah, because that was actually a big one that you said to me was have a purpose. Like when you're skiing, that was actually a major one because if you just kind of let it happen, even if you're thinking about your technique, it's definitely not the same as skiing with intention.
Mm.
You can have the intention to try and work on your technique. That is not the same as skiing like with intention.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
and especially on short turns actually, which we did a lot that day. One thing I noticed is if I'm actually going to do good short turns, I almost have to like egg myself up for it,
Mm.
and I have to attack it. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's the only way I get good short turns. If I just kind of almost let them happen and I think about my outside, I think about all the things you're meant to think about, they're never the same as if I stand at the top, get myself in an athletic position, I go, right, let's go. Like
yeah. It's not some miracle that good skiing happens. It's because you've
no.
intended and like you've made it happen yourself.
Yeah.
And it's
Um,
huge. It's a huge, like, it's almost like, like, I mean, that's a big thing in skiing as well, is we talk a lot about technique. We don't always talk about mindset.
no.
And like mindset's huge, and exactly what you just said. Like if that means like egging yourself up, like we get it with some of the people who do the instructor stuff. We're sending them down some, and sometimes they just need a minute on the chairlift where they put the headphones and put something on that gets them in the mood for like just going for it. Makes a hell of a difference, like massively. Your mindset can make or break something.
Yeah, yeah, no, I really notice that, especially with short turns. If I for some reason get rushed into it, or I don't know, I sort of just fall into it, they're never the same as if I stand at the top and I get into my mind, right, you are going to absolutely have it now. You are going to put everything into this that you've got. They're
Mm.
always better when I really put that energy in. And sometimes I get to the end of it and I think, oh my God, what did I like? I've done something different. What you've got to work out
What
what
is
that
it?
is.
What did I do?
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
I realized over a period of time, actually, all it is just the way I was thinking about it. It had nothing to do with what I was doing with my feet.
yeah.
It was just like you said, like ski. Have ski with a purpose. Not all the time, because you wouldn't want to do. You
Oh
can't. You
God,
don't.
Oh God, you'd be the most boring person around. Yeah, like go and
Yeah,
have fun, do whatever you want. But if you are actively
yeah,
trying to like improve something, do it with intention.
yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. That makes like the world of difference for sure. It's such a incredible way of improving your skiing. Is just to think about, like, not so much technique, but how you are going to attack what you're about to do, and not let it just run with you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's all too easy.
Mm.
It was like Andy from Snow Camp Stuart. He said to me when we was in Kitsteinhorn about when you're on like really shitty chopped up conditions, just engaging the core at certain stages of every single turn.
Yeah.
And then Scott was on and on about like being in the correct position. Like he's so pristine with like his position at all times. He looks like I don't know, he's always in the perfect position.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you start combining, and then you add in like what you said about the having a purpose, when you add all those things together, um, it makes the wildest difference to everything you do. And sometimes I
Mm.
remember in Hintertux, where like I was saying, the conditions were insanity. And I'd be going down some mogul. There's loads of moguls for most of it, and we were going down these moguls. And whenever I felt myself get out of shape, I'd be like, right, pull your tummy in, like get some core strength going through there. Like get that arm out, ready to go. Just think about that arm being out there, like ready to make that pole plant. Have some
Yeah.
aggression, like have some purpose, and all of a sudden your next 5 turns are bang on.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Massively. It's just a combination of both, and just kind of getting that perfect Goldilocks mixture.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing though, and sometimes as soon as I get out of shape, I sort of start saying these things to myself, and before I know it, you're back in the flow, but you haven't changed anything. You've just
Mm.
thought a little bit with a bit more clarity, a bit more,
Yeah.
like you said, like commitment, purpose, those things. It's so I can't tell people like how important it is, and when I
That's
try and
huge.
explain it to like my wife, yeah, she it doesn't. I just can't get it through. Like,
Yeah.
it's
No.
such
No.
a
No. I
thing.
get it. I get it.
Yeah,
I
and
get
I'm
it.
sure people have tried to say it to me in different ways, but this is what I always say to people: like, people can say the same thing to you in so many different ways, and you'll only understand one of them. Um, and that's why when you get like really good instructors like you, like Jason, like Steve, like Simon, like all these different people,
Mm.
they're quite often they're actually very much pushing you towards the same direction, but you sometimes someone says something, you just relate to it like instantly, and it
Yeah.
immediately
Terminology is
makes
huge.
you.
Terminology is huge. Like, it doesn't matter, like, you can have great instructors, but it just can be that one person who says something the same, but in a different way, and it's clicked, and that's it. Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's worth it. Like, it's absolutely worth it. If that gives you what you need to get to your next step for you, worth it.
And have you ever used Carve?
I have actually, yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Because
I used it. I used it for the first time last winter, for the few weeks before I wrecked myself and did my ACL and meniscus.
I know we didn't even get time to talk about that. We'll have to do it another time. I really wanted to talk about that as well. But yeah, because like a lot of instructors despise it, don't they? Because obviously they sort of consider it like potentially taking their job, even though it's absolutely impossible.
Nah,
Um,
yeah.
but like it's not even on the same level. But yeah, I just wondered what. like I like it because it almost like keeps me company when I'm on my own, and just
Yeah,
lets me work with things. And I love the data as well. I'm a data person.
yeah.
But what was your like brief experience with it like?
I thought it was brilliant. Like, I
Yeah,
actually, like, I thought, I mean, this sounds so bad, but like, I thought I was going to hate it. I thought it was going to be like some computer telling me what I'm doing. Nah, I'm all right, mate. Like, nah. And actually, brilliant. Like, in terms of like, I think it's a good tool to use, like, alongside, like, I think a coach should be able to like interpret their clients' results if they're using it.
yeah,
And I think, there are certain like characters and personalities out there who are very, very stat heavy in how they work.
yeah,
And if that works for them, like it works. I mean, I've noticed it myself. Like, I've always, I have to be on it with like my exercise. Otherwise, I balloon. I get massive.
yeah,
And like I struggled with it for years and years. And I still struggle now, but I find it a lot easier just from wearing a Garmin because I'm looking at stats.
yeah. Of course.
And those stats help me. Yeah, for some other people, they're like, oh, if I've got a problem with that, I don't use like, I don't weigh myself, anything like that. I just feel it, and it works for them. But I didn't think I was going to like it, and I actually did. I thought it was cool. I like how it tracks stuff. I mean, just from like a fun point of view, like we got given a couple of sets from Carve. They gave us a couple of sets to the academy, to the Ones for Ski Academy. So we all had like, a couple of runs because we try and do what we call it in work a power hour, where we all get together before we start our day and we go for a ski. And like, we either start talking about an idea that we found has helped clients relate, or something in our own skiing, or we just go and have a blast and just have fun together, as a team, because we are massively a team at the end of it. And we all started trying these carves for like a week, and it just became really competitive, but like healthy competition.
Yeah, it's fun.
And
Yeah.
we've got, I don't know if you've met any of them or seen them on our website. We've got quite a few Danes on our ski team. Got a few
Oh,
Danes,
okay.
and they're like on the Interski Denmark team, all of that, and they're Danish instructors in the Danish system as well. And they are absolute weapons. Like they are
Yeah,
just, so when you ski around people better than you, my God, it picks you up, it inspires you. But they're hitting like 165, 170, and then we're getting like it, like just nuts. And like we're in resort, and it shows you like worldwide rankings, but it also
yeah.
shows you resort rankings. So we were like, it got to a point where I think pretty much all of the team were in the top 15 in the resort on the
Wow.
rankings at one point, which is not necessarily valid in any way because not everyone's using Carve, like so it's not that, but it was more like, God, you feel like a hero, like it's great. But then also you've got the competition, and one of the managers on the team, Jordan, it was funny because he's very dry when he wants to be, but he's like, yeah, if you're not hitting 155 and above, you're fired. Like, obviously doesn't mean it, but like, suddenly like people are like, get to the top of like, say, M25, we call it, which is Atterline Verbier, and they're turning it on, and you're seeing people skiing like, because we don't always see each other ski well, do you know what I mean? Because we're often working with instructors, whether it's like a complete beginner to someone really, really good. Like, the focus isn't on us skiing well, it's on us teaching, getting them better.
Yeah,
And so like, and that's the priority, is they get better and have fun with it. So we don't get to see each other as instructors let loose. And then when you do, and then when you see their stats on your app of what they're doing, you're like, oh my God, this is witchcraft. Like, bloody hell, like they're unbelievable. So
yeah. And
yeah,
they've
didn't think I'd like it, turned out really like it.
yeah, it is fun. It is fun. I think if you don't, maybe if you don't use it in the right way, or you have the wrong expectations or something like that, then maybe not. But they've changed it as well, because before you used to kind of be able to cheat to get that high score, like you do like your 10 best turns, and then bang, you've kind of got it. But on
Mm.
this new version of the app, you can ski all day and it picks out sections. Um, so I think this season's going to be a lot more beneficial as well, because before it was like stop, pull over, do 10 hardcore turns, and that is your
Yeah,
score. So I think it's going to be a
yeah.
bit less sort of cheatable than that now, and a bit more
Well, I'm
usable.
gonna try it. I'm gonna try it for this winter again if I can, just because I know what my stats are before injury.
That's a
Kind
good
of want to
point.
see,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I kind of want to see what they're like after.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You might be
Just in,
surprised.
yeah, I might. Hopefully, I mean, God, I hope so. But like, I mean,
Yeah.
I've been rehabbing like mad, so hopefully I come back strong. But I'm just interested to see like in terms of consistency, because you know in yourself when you do a good run and when you don't.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to kind of just see what it's like for post op and pre op, basically, and see what goes
Yeah,
on.
no, that'll be super interesting. Although sometimes I must admit, sometimes I think I've done a really good run and I look at it and it's terrible. And sometimes I think I've done a terrible run and I look at it and it's unreal. And I think
Yeah.
that's why one of the things it's so valuable for, because actually, do you know what? That run that felt really good to me, if I then keep pushing the bits that made it feel good, I could actually be going in the wrong direction.
Mm.
And that actually can tell you, no, actually, it might have felt good to you, but it wasn't
Yeah.
a good run. And I think it really fine tunes you into the more important things. It's definitely not for everything, and it's not for everyone either. But especially if you ski on your own a lot, like I do, I think it's a great bit of kit, and can never replace not even any teacher.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't. There's no way in the world it can't look at you. Do you know what I mean? It can't. It can't
But I think
monitor
it's good
you.
in terms of like you can get all your stats from it, and then you can go to your coach if you get a lesson. Go, I've got all these stats. Like one, can you make them make sense to me? But two, like, do you agree? And three, how could I get them higher?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's my door, so I better go and answer it. But thanks, Gareth. I really appreciate it. I know it's
Oh
been
mate, it
way
was great.
long.
I just enjoyed catching up with you, chatting.
I know I should have gone on way longer than I should have done. So I'm sorry for taking up all your time.
Nah,
But
I think it's been great. It's been
so
great.
many people will love this. And yeah, if anyone listening wants to book in, you just need to go to Warren Smith. It's not going to be difficult to find. That is for sure. And
Yeah.
obviously Gareth's part of that. Yeah. And also at the end of this, I've got to say a massive thank you to Gareth as well, because just a quick bit of context. I did that one day with Gareth, and since then, Gareth's always given me motivation, like loads of times, through no request or anything, just for his own goodwill and interest in skiing. Like Gareth's like super passionate about skiing. In fact, my wife said to me the other day, she went, "Do you even know anyone who's as into skiing as you are?" And I'm like, "No, not really." And then I went, "I do actually. I know one person."
I'll take that as a compliment for sure.
Yeah, so
No,
I'm
thank you,
I'm
mate.
so grateful, because on those every single Sunday I used to go to Hemel over and over and over again, and actually you drop me a message and say, "Oh yeah, well done, mate," or something like that. You'd be amazed how that drives you forward when you're on a plateau, even though it's not like maybe necessarily technical or anything like that. Just a little bit of like enthusiasm, or someone who kind of likes it in the way you do, that kind of thing. It massively spurs you on. So I've got to say a huge thank you for that, because without those little bits and pieces, there was probably a lot of times when I maybe wouldn't have got up at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday and driven for 2 hours.
Nothing like that. No,
Do you know what
it's
I mean?
brilliant.
Stuff like
You
that.
smashed it. It's been really cool to watch you just progress as quick as you can. And I'm
Thank you.
looking
Yeah, no,
forward
I
to
love
being
it.
here around New Year.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, hopefully, yeah, you can meet the family and stuff. But yeah, thanks
Oh, yeah.
again, Gareth. I really
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
mate.
Have a good one, mate. Take care. I'll
Care,
see you
buddy.
soon. See you, mate.